If it was in the bottle that we talked about, like the more ornate bottle, would you be more, would you be more inclined?
I can be persuaded.
If the packaging was a slight bit better, we might be doing it.
Welcome, Anthony, to episode 171 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Kenny, Stephen Kenny. What's up?
Wait, what?
What's up, yo?
You went all out of order there. That was great. I like it.
You're welcome.
My goodness, that was great.
Just keeping it fresh. You know, I don't like...
yeah, you got to keep it
I don't
fresh.
like pre-recorded intros. So.
No, hey, and you know what? You and I agree on that. When we started this dang thing, you said you wanted to record the intro live every time, and we've done it. Gosh dang it.
Now we've taken away the outro a little bit.
Yes.
But the intro, we need to record a new outro.
I think we need to refresh that. What do you think? You want to do that? We'll make it more fun.
You should do live outros every time.
Well, we used to.
Yeah, but a lot of bourbons would be, hey, enjoy it long run now.
And with that,
That's right.
Thanks, Kenny.
Well, let
boy.
me just take this opportunity to remind everybody that our sponsors are bourbonoutfitter.com and it's the Woodwork Collective.
Woodwork Collective in Louisville. My boy James.
There you go.
But
Perfect.
it's not .com. What is it?
It's .shop, I believe.
Yeah.
.shop. Okay.
Woodworkcollective.shop.
Just make sure they know where the good people know where to go.
Yeah, if you forgot what we said, then you go to our outro that we just mentioned, and you're right there. You're right there. We got that correct. We know that much.
Or the details in the episode.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, sir.
So, boys,
So-
I was told that you guys went on an excursion this week,
We did.
and it wasn't camping.
And it was not to the barbershop either.
Yep,
You see his hair? Look at his hair.
it is.
It's huge.
I haven't cut my hair in quite a while, and it does tend to go up instead of down.
It's kind of nice,
So,
though.
yeah, it's getting a little bit fro-y is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rock rough and stuff with my Afro puff. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kenny.
We've all had a challenging week, though.
Yes.
You've been a little bit down.
Yeah. I'm just a little bit of, I don't know, traveling a lot, things going on. and
Steven,
just-
your back's been a little acting up.
Yeah.
Awful weekend.
Yeah.
I'm kind of follically challenged, so I've had a little issue as well.
I thought you actually had something going on. I'm like, I legit wasn't feeling well. You know?
Right now, you're really kitchen challenged.
Yeah.
Bro,
Oh, there
yeah,
you go.
remodel.
That's
Man.
something to bring up. You know.
We've got a fridge in the living room, and I'm living in an air fryer on the living room. It's
Anthony
not
is
good.
the biggest beer fridge I've ever seen.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good that you have that out there. I mean, you don't drink beer, but you know,
If you did, my God.
yeah.
My God.
I walked into the house and I looked at Kenny's wife and I was like, "So how you enjoying things? How long has it been since you guys started your kitchen remodel?"
Probably 10 days, 2 weeks.
Ooh, and there's a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Jimmy John's.
I've been in a lot of Grimes, I will tell you that.
Oh,
there you go.
I love some Grimes,
You know,
man.
Yeah.
we've
I haven't
never,
had it in so long.
yeah,
Gosh, it's so good.
we never plug Grimes on the podcast, but that is like, it's called like Grimes' though, right?
Grimes.
Yeah, but
Did you know I called the store the other day?
you did.
What'd they say?
So what happened?
Was this after calling BT?
No. It's Tony. Hey. They sell barrel proof. It's no good.
Did you
I
ever
can
hear back
imagine
from
you
that?
calling people.
No.
Okay.
That would have been great if they'd have called you back.
So I've gone to Grimes, I don't know, back Grimes.
Grimes
I
is
don't even know how long this Aaron Drive location's been open.
probably about
Several years.
5 years now, maybe 4 or 5 years.
At least 5 to 7, right?
Yeah, it's
but
been a
Maybe
Wow.
longer, yeah.
But I went there before that, go to Georgetown Road and different places.
Right.
And so Indies and Grimes, I don't know the ins and outs, but I know they were like a family a long time ago, or they were close and they split and fighting and whatever.
Schism, like I know who the piece is
But-
fit.
It's only hearsay at this point.
It's
what
yeah,
I say.
But Indies, they're just the food to me. The wings are a little bit better because they're crispier usually. The flavor is the same. It's just that the wings are not as crispy at Grimes. Dude, these were the best Grimes I've had in 12 to 15 years of going there.
Wow.
So I even called the store and I was like, man,
Big endorsement.
I asked for the manager and I forgot the guy said, oh, this is, whatever his name was, something Grimes. So it is a family thing.
Okay.
Well, I just want to let you know, man, whatever y'all are doing right now, this is the best wings I've ever had, ever. They're crispy. Whatever you're doing tonight, so the food's always good. Don't get me wrong. and I go there a lot, but tonight's a different level. So whatever y'all doing tonight, just duplicate that, man. It was that good.
There you go. And the one thing I have to mention about Grimes is that they have the most interesting, awkward drive-through in the history of drive-throughs. So the drive-through is actually on the passenger side.
It's on the right side of the car.
So if you have like you had, Steven, your back issue, I don't know if you'd be able to reach over there to give them to pay for your chicken or not.
I think they went to like a.
Well, they have that long basket on a stick.
Went to
They
went to a church closing. And they said, "Then give me all your donation baskets."
Oh, so they got that.
That's how they got it.
So it's been a
Tax
while.
optional.
Okay, there you go.
So, but no, they have a long stick with a basket on the end. They just throw it all the way through your ride,
right?
And then you put your money in there, and then bring it back and forth.
Oh man, what a great store! Yeah, they got all kind of stuff. Yeah, I got to eat there now, man.
Those potato wedges and wings and the chicken. I used to only get wings. Now I legit get just pieces of chicken. And it is some of the best fried chicken. It's so good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, how are you doing? I'm hungry now.
Where do I go tonight after we record?
There you go. You might be going to
White
Grimes.
Castle.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. But really, I mean, Steven, you mentioned our road trip, and I mean, I got to start off by just briefly mentioning that before we kind of get into tonight's episode, and we can kind of go as long as we want. But we were fortunate to head down to Lynchburg, Tennessee for a barrel pick at Jack Daniel's for both their bourbon and rye. And I know for our listeners, to be like, why are you calling that Tennessee whiskey bourbon? They call it bourbon down there. They just say the bourbon or the rye, and it meets all the specifications for bourbon. But we took a trip down there with Bluegrass Liquor Box.
Big thanks, Andrew, Alan, and BK.
That's right. Very big thanks to them. And I really had no expectations. I like to go into those things with no expectations. In fact, Kenny, when we were planning that, you probably were annoyed with me at times. He'd ask me questions, and I'd say, I don't care. Whatever is fine with me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just kind of go with the flow when those kind of trips happen. But man, that was a lot of fun and very eye-opening, because Steven and I were talking about this. Like, when we talk about JD, we're not thinking about premium whiskey, right?
No.
We're just thinking about something that you know is a staple. It's been there. You mix it with Coke, Jack and Coke. We did the episodes on the Bonded and things like that. But I mean, going to the distillery was very eye-opening.
I was blown away.
There you go.
They are the biggest.
I am now in love. So 2020, they had the special release rye, and 2021 was Coy Hill 750 milliliters, single barrels,
which are still selling for like $700 to $1,500.
Now they've jumped up between 9 to 11. Yeah.
Oh my God, ridiculous!
2022 was the Coy Hill small batches, 375s.
Right.
So they have crushed it. 2020, 2021, 2022. Last year we didn't have anything like that from them that was spectacular. But for 3 years in a row, they absolutely crushed it. So I did enjoy that. But now that I've been down there, did a tour, learned more about their history, saw the grounds themselves, I'm in love, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, Steven, I have to tell you about this part, because when we were down there, it was like 94 degrees. So it was not comfortable when you're on the tour, and they gave you like a slushie. You can pick lemonade or Coke. What would you have picked, sir? Coke or lemonade?
Is this near Gatlinburg?
No, it's
the other side of the state?
Down past
It's
Nashville.
just south of Nashville.
Yeah, it's about
it's the other side of
hour
state.
and,
Okay.
yeah, hour and what, 10 minutes from Nashville?
Is it that far?
Like
maybe.
towards
I thought it was
Memphis?
No, just below
You know
Nashville.
what? It is like an hour and some change. Yeah.
Straight down, like south, like in the middle of
Lynchburg.
nowhere.
So you're near the southern border then, right?
Yeah, I think it was like an unincorporated. It seems like it's an unincorporated town. There's not a lot going on there. I mean, Jack Daniel's has a huge presence, but it was very interesting. So in the middle of this 94-degree tour, when we're jaunting around the property, they're like, "Here's our water source. I know you like this kind of stuff." They're like, "It's 56 degrees year round." And in my brain, I just said, "There's no freaking way that at 94 degrees outside, this is like a 56-degree water supply." So we walk over by this massive
cave area,
limestone cave shelf area, and it felt like air conditioning.
Air conditioning,
yeah,
bro.
like outside, it felt like air conditioning, like blasting you in the face.
It was awesome.
It was just insane.
It was above ground, and it was still it was air conditioned. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. The water source, and then I don't know. I gained, like you, Kenny, I gained a greater appreciation for it, and I hope we get to go back there. I hope all of us get to go back there again.
They have about 780 employees. They said almost 800 employees.
Wow.
Right.
And I believe, wasn't it roughly half were still either descendants by blood or marriage from Nearest Green and Jack Daniel. So those two families are almost half their employees are still from one of those two families.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. There was a lot of history there. I mean, this will be the second time I mentioned Wilford Brimley, but we were in this house that like had old historic pictures and stuff. And the one guy who has like a huge mustache,
diabetes,
part of the family, looked like the diabetes guy. And I was and of course, everyone's like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Because I can't be serious like wherever I'm at. And so I had a lot of fun doing off key and color things while we were at the distillery, but. The one thing that I got to tell you about, so follow me on this one too. When we got down there, everyone said you got to go eat at Miss Mary Bobo's. Yeah. So BK and Alan were nice enough to book Miss Mary Bobo's and treat the whole pit crew to Miss Mary Bobo's.
That's
so
nice.
Yeah, it's very nice of them. I mean, they're solid guys. They're fantastic. Please go check their store out, Liquor Box in Georgetown. They got 2 locations. They're great people. So we were waiting outside and we're waiting for multiple people to come because a lot of people we didn't know, right? There was at least 2 people we had never met before, and we were kind of waiting outside. And next thing you know, they're calling all the names to seat people in this restaurant, and we're just standing there, and we're not seated, and we're like, okay, what's going on? So we go in, they quickly hustle us downstairs. We walk into this, I mean, I hate to say it, Kenny, it was like a dungeon almost. Like, it was old stone floors and things like that. And
You pay extra for that.
Yeah,
Look at him.
Dead handcuffs, whips.
Dungeons.
Oh my God, you guys killing me here.
Do they have old skeletons hanging?
They could have. But the thing is, they walked in, and I immediately looked at this table that was empty to the right, and I was like, that's got to be our table. But they're like, no, you're here. So we sat with like, what was it, about
8 other people we don't know.
8 other people that we don't know, and had a family-style meal.
Friendly.
And let's just say you're literally elbow to elbow with everybody that it was different.
Right.
The food was really good.
Fried chicken, pork.
They brought
casserole dish.
Did they have bread? Did they have any?
But the way they served
The
it,
dessert was like an infused Jack Daniel's infused something or other, like a pie, right?
Wasn't like bread pudding.
it was a chest pie.
Chest pie.
Okay.
It was like a pecan pie, no pecans, so like chest pie. So
So pecanless pie.
but I love pecan pie, no pecan. But the food was served like family, like if you had a big meal at your house, like you have a big plate of this, bowl of that, and you all take and share. It was odd because it was freaking 8 people that we didn't know.
Right.
And it was kind of odd that way.
Well, it was odd, and then to make things more odd, one of the ladies that was there at the table was very talkative, and so she kept talking and telling stories, and she's kind of vibing because there was a host too. So there's like a lady that's your host that's sitting at the table, and she's kind of directing traffic and like inviting people to talk and share stories and stuff like that.
That's weird, right? That's weird in itself.
It was definitely weird. There was some weird,
Like as if you go
weird
somewhere and
vibes
says,
there.
"You introduce yourself." I'm like,
Oh, you did.
Right.
We had to
did
go
that.
around
We
and
had to
say
do
our
that.
names and
There
where
it
we're
is.
from. Yeah. And I was like, my name is Larry. I'm from Lexington. I'm into real estate.
Is that what you said?
Larry is the white guy. People think he's funny. I'm a real estate investor. No, that's what I was going to say, but I knew these guys wouldn't let me get away with it. So I
Yeah,
didn't.
no, we kept that above board, but then in the middle of this lady talking in classic Kenny Mills fashion, he sends me a link that looks legitimate about politics. So I click it. It's a dirty picture. It's a dirty picture. So I like close it as fast as I can because this guy's like elbow next to me. And upon closing it, I can't stop laughing. So now this poor lady's telling a story that's not funny, and I'm just laughing like crazy. I look like an idiot. Thank you, Kenny.
Kenny, have you known him to laugh uncontrollably?
Alves did not fall for it. MH Harris did fall for it. Big Mike. So it was funny.
That's funny.
I know, but it was good. There was just a strange vibe there because the other thing is like they have like people working at like the people that are working there are working for like college tuition.
They said college. A lot of them didn't look college age.
But it looked like a boarding school maybe is close by, and so maybe they staffed the restaurant. So not knowing all the ins and outs and not casting any aspersions, we did Miss Mary Bobo's like we were supposed to, and
Food was good.
yeah. The funniest thing is that,
Vibe was so.
yeah, I talked to one of the other guys who's been there for many picks, and he said, "Did you like it?" And I was like, "Oh, it's kind of weird." And he was like, "Why was it weird?" And first thing I let off with was because we were sitting at a mixed table with people we didn't know, and he's like, "Oh,
I've never had that.
Never had that experience." So we're like, "Okay,
Yeah, we wish we
all right."
hadn't either.
Yeah, So maybe that was our ticket in there, but anyway,
It was still good. It was good.
So we got the whole experience, and here we are.
And I don't know the price, so I can't say whether I'd go back or not.
Right, we
because
don't know the price.
BK and Allen paid, so
They did.
The food was good, so based on the food quality, I would go back. But without knowing the price, I would have to just decide whether I go back again or not.
You don't know
Right.
if you're going to pass try or buy on that, do you?
That is correct,
Yeah.
because I don't know the price.
Right. Well, one thing I will say is I survived sharing a hotel room with Kenny. That was a harrowing experience for many reasons, some of which I can't talk about on the podcast, just to leave it a mystery. But the thing that was most was like, okay, so my wife sometimes will get on me and say like, hey, you were snoring. And I'm like, what's the big deal? Get over it. Bro, I didn't even tell you.
Yes.
That morning, I woke up because you were loud as a freight train.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I am
Yeah.
so sorry.
I have video evidence that I haven't deployed yet. I haven't deployed it.
Anthony
I'm
Limperos.
saving that for you. But anyway.
Are you serious?
No, I'm serious. I'm going to show it.
You jackwagon.
See, and I brought it up right here for the element of surprise.
Now, I do have a
because we're all
picture of
friends
you.
here.
You fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, you got a
after
picture of that?
Taco
Okay.
Bell
All right.
alcohol night.
Yeah. Yeah, we did make the decision to get Taco Bell late night, which wasn't the best decision. But
I
hey,
was sick for 24 hours after that.
oh,
I ate way too much Taco Bell.
yeah.
It was not good.
And it wasn't. I don't think it was well made at 12:30 or 1 in the morning, whatever time it was. So.
But we did have after the pick though, which we'll talk more probably about the picker in a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
But after the pick, we had a really good meet and greet, little bottle share with some of the Nashville boys. So
Right.
TC and Ford and those guys, man, it was a great night.
It was fun.
Very fun, very fun.
Well,
Absolutely.
it sounds fun.
It was.
I'm glad the grounds were nice because as big as
Dude,
Jack Daniels
beautiful,
was,
man.
I figured it would be nice.
Like dead
Oh,
serious,
man.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Well, we have another review to catch up on this week. This time it comes from Facebook.
Oh, yeah. So the review and shout out for this week comes to us from Facebook, and the person who left it is John Lair. Is that
Never
how you
heard of
pronounce his name? It's Kenny.
Me and John message all the time.
You
dude.
guys message. Okay, so this is one of
Yeah.
Kenny's friends
Cool
that,
dude.
that I don't know, but he left a 5-star review and said, "Great podcast" was the title, and he said, "Oh yeah, review time." Anthony Stefan with a crying emoji, and the Kool-Aid King himself, aka Kenny, provide truthful reviews while giving blunt, honest opinions of anyone's whiskey. In all honesty, it's great to have some perspective like this instead of the YouTube bobbleheads and influencers who review everything as great and must buy. The banter between the team while mixing in history and facts optional
Facts.
make for a good facts optional facts makes for a great listen. I'd especially recommend this podcast for anyone new to bourbon or just starting their bourbon journey, as they have a lot of helpful tips to weed through the bourbon boom of products out now. If only they had merchandise and a top 40 list with the eyes emoji. In the words of Steven, keep it neat, y'all. Very good. One of the Michigan listeners, and he left some emojis and a 5 stars. So that's
Nice.
fantastic.
Thank you, John, for real.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
I love it when people intersperse a lot of different things that we're doing on our show,
Yeah.
because then we know they're true listeners. I mean, I don't know why anybody leave us a review anyway.
Why do they even listen?
Why do they
I don't
listen?
even
No,
know,
but
anyway.
that's amazing.
Merch is
So-
an interesting topic, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. But gosh,
I've
how
had
far?
5 or 6 people I want merchandise, so
Okay.
we're gonna have to do that.
There you go, Steven. What do you
Risers
think?
coming to your clothes soon.
All right, sounds good.
So if
We'll
you
get,
want,
we'll get some thongs made. Speedos. It's summertime. Speedo time.
That's right. Speedos in
so
the
what would
winter.
you put on the thong? Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, right
Or
down
keep
the
it
middle.
neat.
It'd be
What
hard
would
to
you get?
it'd be hard to fit that on there.
not much material. Huh?
Yeah, in the winter we can get custom parkas. I'm just kidding.
Or I'll just wear the first shirt you got me made. It's so freaking hot with that big patch on it that
Oh,
it works so
man.
good in the wintertime.
See, Steven was right about that. But anyway, it keeps you warm.
Hey, I wear my shirt though. I wear it.
Yeah, I
I
do
wear
too.
mine. Shana wears hers. I like it. I enjoy it.
No doubt. We'll get you some merch.
If you like a shout out, just leave a review on Apple Podcast, Facebook, Amazon, and next time we record, we'll give you a shout out.
Sounds great.
Well, gents, you already know this, but it's new to me. For this week's bottle, we have a bottle of Jack Daniel Distillery Series number 13.
Number 13. I love the fact that it's like a number there, right? So Distillery, of course, is Jack Daniel's Distillery in Lynchburg, Tennessee. The bottle date is 2024. The ABV is 53.5. Got the screw cap over there.
Takes longer.
Proof is 107. The age, I don't think it's age stated on the bottle, but the nice lady at the gift shop told us this is 6.5-year-old rye, and then it is barreled in a new white American oak barrel for 2 additional years.
Yep.
Which is crazy. The mash bill is 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% malted barley. And the MSRP on this, tax included, was a very affordable $49.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was actually kind of nice because if you think about it, right, Jack is Brown-Forman owned. And so this kind of compares us with the 117 series and all the distillery releases we see at Woodford. It's kind of the same concept, but I think it's the cheapest of the 3, isn't it?
The other places are 59 plus tax.
Right.
Right. Woodford this year was 69, right, for double oak.
Was it that much?
I think, remember, it jumped up $10 more.
69.
Yep. So this was 40.
Now, is it because of the flask you got it in instead of the real bottle?
It was a reciprocating
go.
flask this last year. That's why it was 69.
There you go.
But this was 49 with tax. So not bad.
Very good. So when we heard about this bottle from, I heard about it anyway from Jason Hale.
Yep.
Arsenic Culture. He said, you guys are going on your pick. When are you going? They got this in. And it literally came in, I think, 2 days before we got there.
See, I didn't hear about it from Jason.
Okay. Who'd you hear about it from?
You.
Okay. Well, there you go. You. So I said, yeah, sure. I said, they got it. We'll buy it. And in my brain, all I was imagining was Jack Daniels makes their 375 bottles, these little small versions of their.
And I think those are awesome looking.
And those are, they're beautiful. They look amazing because they look like they're big bottles just shrunken down. And so I was expecting that. And so I'm not going to lie. When we got to the gift shop and saw this, I was underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great. A white label. And then they give you this tag.
This wooden tag.
This wooden tag that kind of sits loosely on the bottle when you
Which
check
we all
out.
love.
Yeah. And I wondered, though, do you think this is actually the wood that they char for their...
I do not.
Okay. I wonder if it was.
Way.
Their beloved wood that they char for their charcoal filtering. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, it kind of looks like...
Oh, wait. So that is the actual bottle?
Yes. No, that is it.
Oh, I thought it was I thought it was
Nope.
like an early
that's
sample.
it. That's
Oh.
it. There you go. Now, Stephen, please tell us what you
that
think
is
of it.
awful. I mean,
I love it.
But this is the exact same thing they used back in 2019 or 2020 because they had a distillery series like this that was basically the precursor, the exact same thing to that 2020 special release rye.
Okay.
So they used that same series of bottle for that.
That's funny.
okay, well, it's still awful.
I agree with
The
you.
only pro, I guess, it fits nicely in your back pocket
Right.
because it's curved.
It's
It is a flask.
medicinal flask style whiskey.
It's got a basic printed label on it.
right.
That looks like the generic 375s I buy off like Amazon to like.
No doubt.
you know.
I mean, I don't. I'm kind of in shock.
Yeah. That's funny.
I literally was sitting here the entire time thinking, okay, we got an early sample from the distillery
That's
about
it.
it.
Oh, no. That's
And
it.
that is the official thing.
Whoa! You must have not seen this.
that tag.
Well, I thought they just
That
do it on.
wood. The
that
wood
wood
makes
tag
it. You
is
know.
great.
Again, I thought it was an early sample that they gave you the
Yeah, not just a plain looking flask bottle. You know.
Okay, well, it's
But
there you
hang
go.
on. But it's $49.
It's 49. Yeah.
versus 59 to 69.
If we got it the smaller, it probably would have been $60.
So if I
Easy.
could, so that's a thing. You know, it's like I've talked about Redbreast 27.
Right.
If they didn't have to do a fancy box, they could knock some money off. Well, they knocked some money off on this.
Do you think they could put red breast in a leather flask? like
Like the old Travelers.
Like a Travelers,
The old
yeah.
Crow Traveler.
oh, look at me, I have a leather flask of whiskey.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that really did, because I'm not gonna lie, when Jason sent me the picture, I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's an early bottling, like you thought too. I'm like, it's gonna look different when we get to the gift shop, and when it looked the same, I was very underwhelmed.
All right, well,
Yeah,
Interesting.
that is it, though.
But
That is the
packaging,
bustle.
does packaging matter anymore when something's limited, right?
And for me, I am okay with plain and simple if
Yeah.
it makes it less expensive.
There you go.
well, I don't know how much less expensive this could be.
So I know we've done this before, but let me just remind our listening audience that Jack Daniels, one of the oldest, actually, we talked about this, Kenny, first registered distillery in the U.S., and with Jack as the master distiller, of course. And after opening and introducing Old Number 7, that whiskey is the number one selling whiskey in the world, right? The first thing that always comes to mind when people think of Jack Daniels is the Old Number 7 Black Label iconic whiskey bottle. But even though it's iconic and it's something that we all know and we love, it's actually, the rye is a really recent thing for them. And I don't even know if you guys know this before. I certainly didn't. I assumed that they probably had a rye product like in the 80s that just didn't take off. That was my assumption. Then I started digging a little bit deeper and realized that their first rye hit the market in 2017. I think it was 100 proof straight rye whiskey, and I actually think that's discontinued now. I think they're only doing like single barrel and bottle and bond and stuff like that. But it's crazy because that was the first new recipe for their distillery in 150 years in 2017.
Wow.
So that just shows you, like, I mean, okay.
If it ain't broke, don't change it, right?
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then when you go in there and you look at these warehouses and you say, okay, this sprawling property, 90 warehouses, this distillery that honestly, was that underwhelming to you a little bit? Didn't you imagine it'd be bigger, Kenny?
For as much product as they put out, I thought it would be bigger.
Right.
But then when they explained that they run 24-hour shifts, I'm like, oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So how big was the distill?
The column?
Yeah.
They had three
They
or
had four of them, I think.
Four huge columns.
Copper?
Yeah, copper.
Wow.
Yep. Huge 4 column stills. And they're very proud of the fact that every drop of Jack Daniels is produced right there on that property. And they really hit that home.
Yep. It is aged there, made there, everything.
So we talked when our Jack Daniels Bond Eye episode. Do you remember talking about charcoal filtering?
Yep.
So one thing that even when I was there at the distillery, and Kenny, you were the same, man, so don't try to duck this, is I didn't even give you a chance, man. I didn't get a chance to know if you thought the same thing. But I always assumed that they charcoal filtered the whiskey after it was barreled. I don't know why. That just escaped my brain. But what they do is they charcoal filter it after it's distilled. So, like, once it comes off, the
white dog.
Yeah, they're charcoal filtering the white dog before it goes in the barrel. And it's a really strange freaking process, in my opinion.
Well, so what do they do? I mean, that's interesting because you think.
I honestly had no idea that when they talked about the charcoal filtering,
Right.
that it was the white dog. So I did not know that. But that's why they called down there, do you want the rye or the bourbon? Because it's bourbon.
Right.
Other than the fact that they run it through a charcoal, filter the charcoal before they put it in barrels.
They burn these sugar maple. It's sugar maple, right?
Yeah, it
Is
looks
what
like
was?
pallets, right?
Looks like pallets. They burn it outside, and they create these like massive vats of the charcoal, and then they stack them like up in these massive. I guess they almost look like cypress fermenters, but they're filled to the top with the thing. But then the way that the white dog comes into the charcoal filtering is very weird. It's like drips at a time. So like drips are going from the top of this. What was it, like 20 feet?
If you've seen like an indoor greenhouse or indoor, like, and they have like little tubes and they can turn the water on, let water drops come through and water the area. That's what it looked like. It was just little water, just small little drops at a time, 1 or 2 drops at a time. And it trickles down through that 14 feet of charcoal, right?
I think it's 14 feet.
Yeah, 14 feet
I
of
said
charcoal.
20. I was embellishing a little bit.
14 feet of charcoal.
that seems like a huge bottleneck on the process.
No, but
Bro,
it's just
I thought
that's
the same
how they do
thing.
it.
And Kenny asked, "Would you ask?" You're like, "Well, these drips seem to be hitting the same place."
Yeah, I'm
all
like,
the
do y'all
charcoal
rotate
getting
this
used.
around?
And they're like, "Well, it kind of like creates like."
But they said, I guess once it hits, it kind of like absorbs and
and
soaks. So
moves out.
supposedly it goes other places. But
You think it would like wear out that spot?
that's what I thought.
That's
because
exactly what he said.
Yeah, it's the exact same spot every time.
Yeah.
But they say it doesn't. But
The real question is, did they have a restaurant
on property.
on property?
They consider Miss Mary Bobo's because it's owned by Brown Foreman.
Oh,
right?
really?
They consider it to be their like they mention
little
it when you're
flagship
at the
place.
distillery.
Oh, okay.
They're like, "Did you go to eat there?" They like bring it up
I got you.
over and over again. So yes, that's their signature. And then they also have like a lot of memorabilia like in their distillery gift shop area. And let's just say Kenny was taking some interesting pictures that I might share one of them when this episode drops. We'll see.
also learned that I'm tall.
Oh yeah, because
Compared to what?
Jack Daniels is 5'2".
Whoa.
5'2".
I'm all
man.
5'8" and a quarter. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Dang, 5'2".
Boom.
There's a picture where they have
How
everybody.
tall was Miss Daniels?
He was. Remember, he
not
wasn't married.
wasn't married. Yeah.
He was not married?
Nope.
Yeah, I think he was just a man of his craft and just liked to. I don't think
So
he
you
was
said
married.
half the place was offspring. Where did all the people come from?
No, from his family, like
from
people.
there are a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of,
I
yeah,
thought
a
it
lot
was
of
from him.
family
Not from
members,
him,
yeah,
though. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's just a ton of family members in that area. So
Nearest Green was his first distiller, master distiller.
right.
So that was pretty cool.
So he's like the Billy Gillespie of distilling, huh? Just focusing solely on the craft, right?
Oh boy.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. Fantastic, dude.
You're welcome.
Billy G.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Steven.
Let's nose.
All right, Anthony, you can't nose yet. Just you hold off. We're gonna nose first.
Okay. You will listen.
Okay, we need your expertise. Nose.
What did I get delayed for?
It's really a nice nose.
Right.
Now, something I did not know until I think Anthony told me, or maybe we saw it down there. Every Jack Daniel's rye I've had could like be confused with a bourbon, or it's a barely legal rye.
Right.
I didn't know their mash bill was 70% rye.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It's voodoo magic.
I don't know what they're doing.
70%.
I mean, this nose.
This tastes like a turkey. I'm not saying. I'm not saying it tastes like turkey. This reminds me of a turkey where turkey's 51% rye.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill's what 51 or 56% or somewhere through there.
Right.
Knob Creek's what 56. All this reminds me of a barely legal rye. Well, not just this one, all of theirs, and that's 70. Man, that's kind of wild.
That's crazy.
I mean, the nosing got a little char,
You still get the brown sugars.
a lot of oak,
even on the nose.
huge amount of brown sugar,
Yeah, it's massive.
but it's like buttery a little bit,
Sweetness. Yep.
like very dessert-y forward on the nose.
Yeah, to me, you get a lot of like
It's heavy. It's a heavy nose.
yeah, it's a heavy nose, and that brown sugar that you're talking about. I catch some like citrus candy as well, which is pretty amazing on the nose. I don't remember the name of them, but these like little fruit things came in a tin, and that's kind of what it's reminded me. Like you could get like lemon or orange and things like that. They were hard candies in a tin. I just can't remember the name of them. Probably still have them at some old timey stores. Maybe they had them right there on the square, and I didn't even know to go over there and check it out.
When I go to Gatlinburg next time, I'll get them for you.
Yeah, you can find old timey candies in Gatlinburg, buddy.
They'll probably make them there.
Yeah, that's it's funny. It probably is made there. But yeah, that's amazing. That nose is
It's a good nose. It's a good
classy.
nose. Yeah.
Very good nose. And I do think it kind of exhibits the best characteristic of their rye. I mean, I'm not super experienced with Jack Daniels. I'll be honest with you guys. When I first tried the barrel proof bourbon, it was like very hot to me, right? So I remember, I think it was probably 2017 or 18. I buy a Jack Daniels barrel strength bourbon or Tennessee whiskey because I was like, man, everyone's talking such a great game about this. I couldn't drink it neat. I actually put it on ice, and then it was still too hot for me. And then I think I mixed it with Coke to make myself a bourbon and Coke on steroids. But that was my palate 2017, 2018, I think, whenever they introduced their barrel strength bourbon.
Dang.
Yeah, so I remember it being incredibly hot.
So speaking of mixing, I was in my neighborhood pool, and I met this guy.
Okay.
He drinks. The only thing he drinks is Jack and water.
What?
I know, right?
What a sad existence.
So
I'm
I
just
asked
kidding.
him if you ever had Jim and Bean.
Yeah.
He's like, no. So the next day, I brought him a sample of Jim,
Okay.
and I brought him a sample of Old Forester Rye.
Are you converting this man from,
I'm trying.
from Tennessee
But
over
then,
to...
as a consolation prize, I gave him the rest of my Jack Daniels bottle from when we did the episode.
Oh, nice. So you figured out a way to get rid of it,
Yeah,
huh?
I did. So I need to ask him how it's going with that.
Yeah, you got to see if you converted them or not, because a lot of people like regular Jack Daniels because it does have that very sweet, like banana-y note. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a stewed banana note that Jack Daniels has. And I get why that's appealing, because if you like sweet whiskey, to me, I think Jack and Coke, and I think about the very worst experiences that I had mixing whiskey with Coke when I was younger, because you can only drink so much sweet Jack and Coke before you get, you know what I mean? So
How was that? What was that?
yeah, you got it. Not going to do it again, but that happened to me when I was younger. So
Hey, Anthony,
yes, sir.
let's go ahead and taste this bad mofo. Kenny, you can join.
I would like permit. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, we're going to delay you now. Hey, Kenny, don't taste that yet.
Speaking of buttery, though, this rye, if anybody's in this Lexington area, Georgetown area, Central Kentucky area, when these picks come out at Liquor Box, I'm not just saying this because, I mean, we don't hype just to hype.
Right.
The rye is buttery, creamy, and that bourbon, we mentioned Coy Hill. Coy Hills are going for $750 to $1050.
Right.
This is like baby Coy Hills one we got. It's 133 proof, and it's similar to the Coy Hill where they've replaced the traditional banana of Jack Daniels with cherry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had 3 samples. 2 were banana, 1 was cherry.
Right.
The one we picked was cherry, and it is stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid.
Okay, here's a question for that. So when we went to Four Roses, we had what, like a 2-3 month wait for the bottle to be
Yeah,
bottled.
right. Yep.
What is Jack Daniels? When should you guys expect this?
He said they're kind of running behind, so probably 90 days to 120 days minimum.
Yeah, he
So-
said 4 months.
3 to
we're,
4 months.
we're looking at
Holiday bottle.
Holiday.
dang, okay, no, October, November timeframe.
Yeah, you never know how those things turn out though, because I've seen some people say like, "Oh, expect this in August," and here it is in July. You know what I mean? So you just never know.
Man, because a lot of which I haven't tasted this yet. This is not the barrel proof one, but some of the barrel proof ryes I've had were just kind of hot to be hot.
Right. Just like I was saying about the old bourbon, the regular.
Because the Jack Daniel's Rye special release of 2020 was next level amazing. So then once I started doing some Jack Daniel's single barrel picks, we were all excited. The first 3 I had were just kind of hot to be hot and ethanol pop.
Right.
Ours were not.
Right.
They were great.
No, they were, and I don't like to be influenced when I'm tasting. And I totally did the thing where I wrote down my notes, and then as everyone was deciding, I took my notepad and showed it to Kenny and pointed to the one I liked the best. And he just said, "Hands down, bro." And then we went around the table, and it was everybody, like clockwork, said the same
That's
thing.
good.
Yeah,
Glad
so it
everyone
was kind of like
agreed.
when we were at our Four Roses
Yeah,
pick.
everyone knew exactly.
Yeah, everyone
Which
just
barrel
picked
was.
it out. Yeah, rye was more difficult because there were 2 good ryes on there that we were between, but after the debate, we settled on one. But how about Josh Phillips, man? Nacho. So listen to this, Steve.
The whole time, go ahead. The tour guide this whole time is
Yeah.
saying, "Yeah, you're gonna get with Nacho. You're gonna get with Nacho."
Yeah, so
I think we're meeting some Mexican dude.
yeah, if somebody tells
I'm
you
hungry.
You're,
I don't know what you're talking about.
you're going to a restaurant, you're doing whatever, but you keep hearing nacho, and then like we get to the end of the tour, and there is like the most nice, affable, burly country boy you've ever seen, who's so dang excited to pick with us,
Smiling, grinning ear to ear, just loves his job.
Don't-
loves,
don't tell me
loves
his name's
people,
Nacho.
man.
It's Nacho. There
that's
he is.
Nacho.
There's Josh.
Whoa.
And he just, I mean, okay, so not that I have a lot of experience. Kenny, you have a lot more with barrel picks, but I would have to say that in terms of somebody guiding you through a tasting, there might be people that get technical and try to tell you to look for things, but the energy that he brought was probably my favorite energy of any pick I've ever been on.
Nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed the experience.
You can tell he loves his job.
Loves his job.
Loves
yeah.
what they do there.
Yeah.
Loves people.
Right. And that was just apparent. And then also, I just casually mentioned to him, I said, "Hey, we have a podcast. I don't expect you to like follow us, nothing." And he said, "I have social media, but I post a lot about hunting and things like that. I don't really do much with bourbon on there or like whiskey." And I said, "Okay." He had followed us. You know what I mean? It was just, yeah, you could tell that dude's, a legit guy.
Nice.
Yeah, he's really a solid dude. And you can tell it's not an act, is what I'm saying. Like, he means what he's doing.
And you do
what he's
not want to thumb wrestle him.
we talk about a
What?
he looks
We
like
shook hands, bro.
be like part of
oh
the
my gosh.
strongman contest.
He could have broke every bone on my hand if he wanted
Dang.
Yeah, he started with like
Rolling barrels forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Oh,
he
wow.
started.
to. Strong fella.
Instead of baling hay, he's rolling barrels.
He was
Uh,
throwing
he's
barrels
strong.
around.
That's
yeah.
pretty solid.
Strong dude. So, what do we think about the taste of this? We didn't give any notes of our taste here yet.
Not yet. I did one sip.
So it's twice barreled.
Yes.
And you can taste that twice barreling, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I do think that you got a really traditional, like almost. What did you say the one episode? Because we've been on a rye kick lately. You said something about like what
This
did you
is gonna
say,
be called the
peppercorns?
Yeah. Peppercorns. No.
Or no, it was fennel.
Well, yeah, it was fennel.
So there is a little
Fennel
bit
seed.
of like licorice
No, just fennel.
flavor for this.
Flannel.
Flannel.
I said flannel.
There's a little bit of that
What color?
that flannel flavor.
Black and red.
There you go.
Classic
Perfect.
flannel.
Classic flannel. But there's definitely
Borland.
that sort of note that's kind of shooting through the middle of this. That's very, very smacks of rye, and then it kind of that extra oak kind of elevates it. I don't know if it's elevated in a way that everyone's going to enjoy, but it's a way I enjoy it. So I don't know. We'll see.
So, just where it is double oaked, really, not toasted, I had a hard time even picking out a blind for tonight. So I really didn't have one in mind because a lot of the stuff I have is like toasted oak, you know?
Right.
I don't have a lot of double oak. I do have a Peerless double oak that I went and picked that was really good with J-Hob. But I like this. It's good, but where it's double oaked, it's definitely, the actual oakiness stands out for sure. If they had done like a used barrel or a toasted barrel, it might have been a little more subtle.
Right.
No, Anthony, I don't want this to cloud my judgment,
Okay.
but this is not Kentucky proud.
All right.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to say anything about that
Yeah.
because the whole time that we were down there, I just want you to know, I was thinking of you. I was wondering what you were doing. Then I also wondered, like, because you are, in my opinion, like you are Kentucky through and through. Like you really, you love UK, graduated from there. Like you get the whole, you're from Central Kentucky. Like you embody Kentucky. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Kenny. You hold on over there, Kenny. But I'm just saying, silence. It's just that I feel like when we've talked about Jack and we've talked about the battle, and we talk about the Tennessee UK rivalry, I just still feel that there's something that holds me back from really loving Jack like I like Kentucky bourbon and rye. But hey, it is what it is.
And ever since episode 101, that was our Jack Jim versus death match.
Right.
That kind of like finalized my thought on it.
Right.
So this has been difficult episode just from my own internal battles inside.
Right. That's Kenny, I know you're sitting here, but I told you to be silent. It's that whole thing being you guys. I said Steven to me like embodies Kentucky in terms of he grew up here. He loves UK. You also grew up here as well. And there's a Tennessee UK rivalry, that whole bit that we're just talking about. So like, how do you feel about that? Does that make you conflicted at all about the whiskey?
Me?
Yeah.
Nope.
Why
Now-
not? Why not?
I saw no Tennessee orange there at the Jack Daniels distillery.
Really?
That's true. We didn't see any Tennessee
See
orange.
any UK?
Yeah.
No, well, actually, do you see a UK shirt?
I saw Old Louisville shirt.
No.
Did see that.
Kenny did
minus-
wear his
minus 10.
old Louisville shirt, minus 10. Yeah. But no, I mean, I don't know if it's something we've internalized, but I know that even before I came to Kentucky, I used to look at Jack Daniels and say like, well, it's just a copy of like bourbon. It's not bourbon. And of course, as I learned more about it and realized it's made and produced in the same way.
It's still an inferior product, what you're saying.
But for me, I'm just
I love it.
MGP, that's Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I'm not the strong Kentucky's got to be Kentucky guy.
Right.
I'm just not.
Especially when it comes to George Dickel, because I know how much you like
Oh,
Dickel.
gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just
Multivitamin up.
because
There you go.
I'm like newer to bourbon
right.
and I didn't have that big, strong, feelings going into it. But, I'm 100% good with any of that.
I'm glad we got the yin and yang of this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So one more quick thing I wanted to add to this discussion is about twice barreled rye. This seems to be something Jack Daniels has been doing since 2020. Is that right, Kenny? I think that was their first twice barreled rye release.
Was it the first twice barreled?
I thought so. I could be wrong about
I know
that.
that special release 2020, it was just a regular traditional rye.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Those are the single barrels.
Then maybe 21. I don't know.
Yeah.
They've done a couple of special release
Yeah.
twice barreled ryes. We did enter one into the best of 2023, which it didn't fare that well. I loved it personally,
Yeah.
but it did not make the top. What was it? Like around 25-ish?
That's
somewhere
what's
around there?
wild with them is like there for the longest time. If you went on a tour there or talked to anybody, they said they had nothing there like older than 6.5 years.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, Quail comes out at 8 and 9 years old, and then they got Jack Daniel's 10s and 12s now and all that stuff. So
Right.
who knows what they really got going on in the background there that like no one knows about.
Well, no, their move into the premium category has been like monster because for a mass producer, and when I say mass producer, nobody anywhere would argue that Jack Daniels had the intention of ever going premium, right? They did those Sinatra releases, things like that. But in terms of putting out like premium, high proof, crazy, stupid bourbon and rye, I don't think they ever intended to, really make this thing about premium. But I'll tell you what, when Coy Hill came out and Kenny, that's when I was getting to know you, man. And I was trying to settle an argument between you and Caleb about whether Coy Hill was peanut butter or cherry.
Caleb is challenged. We'll just say that.
And I think I walked in one night to a local place, and we won't disclose where it was at, and Kenny was there with other people. It was just by chance. We didn't plan to be there at the same time. And he walked up to me, and I think I was picking up food, and he said, "Hey, sip this." And I said, "Okay." Took a sip of it, and I'm like, "What do you want from me here?" And he was like, "What's the predominant note?" And I said, "Cherry." And he just went, "Yes,
Yes."
and turned around and walked away because it was like I settled a thing for him. But I mean,
So
that
at
was
that
a
point, Kenny was a random dude, homeless guy.
random
Bar.
guy. Yeah, exactly.
We haven't really hung out really then, right?
I
We
don't
only
think
like knew
we-
each
we had,
other.
like-
We met once,
Okay,
twice.
you knew him once.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it
But
wasn't
no,
like a
like
random.
we
yeah.
had never like hung out. I don't think hardly at all.
Yeah.
I don't think we had. You haven't been over at all then.
I don't think so. No, it was just like
Yeah.
a thing that we'd met because we had shared. Like I had sold you a bottle. Boom. Try
That's a retail bottle.
Still bothered by this packaging there, are you, sir?
My goodness.
It's not just a retail bottle; it's a special release at the gift shop.
I mean, special release.
Special.
So one would say it's allocated.
It's allocated. It is. I don't know how many bottles they produce, but yeah, for sure.
Allocated amount.
Boys, I poured y'all something. Got a little something there to try against this.
Yikes, Kenny! I thought I told you no blinds tonight.
I had no blinds picked out at first, but I just thought of something I thought this might help us out in our pass, try, buy decision.
Okay. Well, I do like that. I like getting help to know what we're tasting. And I mean, Steve and I never intended to like neglect comparing to other whiskeys. I thought we were always really good about trying to talk about our experiences and things that we had. But when you're tasting two things side by side and one's blind, it really is very telling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if he's going to blind us, it has to be with a $100 regular bottle.
Doesn't have to be.
I mean, I know him, but I'm saying
remember early time Black Cap?
Hey,
The psychology now.
This could be the $22 Old Forester rye. You never know.
Never know.
I've been on a rye kick, Irish whiskey kick.
What did you pour me? This is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say awful, but what did you pour?
Draws you up a little bit.
Well, you know, dip your feet in it.
Oh, we got to go back for another taste.
Let me take my shoes and socks off. Hold on.
Ooh. Hey now.
You are not an all-star.
There you go. You know what? With the blind is very rich, and I get where Steven's going probably because the blind like hits you right in the center with a lot of flavor burst, but there's something on the finish that's a little bit like the finish is a little bit weird.
I'm getting turkey vibes off this.
Turkey?
Turkey.
Okay.
Of course, I'm going to be wrong, but I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, you never know.
Okay. So I chose this blind for two reasons. First, I'm going to say what it is, and then I'll say why I chose it.
Okay.
This is Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye.
Oh, nice.
So what is it? Single barrel
proof rye.
At what proof?
What
do you
proof?
133.6.
Whoa.
Okay. That's why it's a little hotter.
But I chose this for two reasons. Number one, the pricing point of this is the exact same pricing point as the bottle we're tasting tonight.
Oh, it is
$100.
There you go.
Right, because these are $100 as a 750. This would be $100 for a 750.
Right.
Second reason I did it is because this is hot to be hot, right?
It is.
Right.
Okay. I'm not just saying this because we don't hold back, we don't exaggerate. Our barrel pick that we did
Right.
of our rye is 10 times better than this one.
Oh, I agree.
So the one coming out at Liquor Box, I am not just saying it. It crushes this.
It does.
What is the proof of the one coming out?
131.
And that's what this is?
This is 133, so they're very close.
And do we know the one that we got for Liquor Box is an 8.5-year-old rye?
Yeah, this one I don't know the age on it.
I don't know the age on it, but yeah.
But I did this for two reasons. I wanted to have something same pricing point as the original bottle. It also to showcase how good our rye pick is going to be compared to this one.
Wow.
So I had actually shied away from these single barrel proof rye picks because I've had two or three just like this one that were kind of hot to be hot. But the one we picked was stellar.
It was, and you know what's funny? You're talking the barrel proof rye up a lot. I really like the bourbon.
Oh, I like the bourbon more than the rye.
That's the thing. I might be at a point where the bourbon, as good as the rye is, I think the bourbon's even better.
I'm opposite of Andrew liked the rye the best.
Okay.
I like the bourbon the best.
Okay.
The bourbon is legit, quote unquote, baby Cohill.
Yeah.
It is cherry instead of banana, and it is so complex and so balanced. Woo! So I like the bourbon better than the rye, but I'm saying how good the rye is compared to this rye.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, this blind you poured has made this
Original one stand out a little bit better, right?
this janky looking bottle in front of it this week taste AF better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to go in for another taste of the original bottle for tonight just to contrast it.
Oh, gee. As you're doing that, I just want to say that I really didn't think that Blanton's episode we did was going to get the traction it did, but I've heard from a lot of people that have said a lot of things about that Blanton's episode.
I heard that I was a tater.
You did? Oh, yeah. My cousin said you were a tater because you had all the letters of your birthday, and you know what? I got to take my cousins back on that. Like, you're a tater, Kenny.
Oh!
But no, I heard from a lot of people, like other podcasters and other people who were saying, like, the one that stood out for me is, I think we all said different things about what Blanton's meant for us, but I said this bottle deserves better. And I heard from at least 4 people who were like, yes, it does deserve better.
Good.
Including a person who I won't name, But anyway,
I mean, I can go on a rant on it again, but we won't.
Yeah, we won't. No, I just had to say that.
Different bottle.
We rarely talk about our immediate previous episodes, and that one, that was something I had really low expectations for, but I'm glad we did it. It was very eye-opening.
Yeah, very eye-opening.
Yep. So what do you think here about this OG pick, huh?
So, I mean, actually, like the one that we're doing, the bottle tonight, the twice barreled, I like it better than this barrel proof rye.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
yeah.
It's not even a question.
You didn't do it any favors.
No. So, boys, would you pass, try, or buy on the Jack Daniel's Distillery series Lucky number 13?
Lucky 13.
That's what I said, Lucky 13.
Very good. I want to go first on this one, if you guys will indulge me.
Yes, sir.
And here's the thing. I'm going to steal all of both of your talking points. No, I'm not. I'm just
Easy.
Say, let me be very concise. Oh, there you go. They're high-fiving over here. The blind Kenny, for once, was eye-opening in the opposite direction. The blind was like, no. That just proves what I said about my first experience with Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Whiskey, which was too hot to be hot. I'm mixing it with Coke, right? I'm having like a luxury Coke, barrel proof Coke and Jack and Coke.
An upgrade to Jim Beam. It's fine, yeah.
There you go, exactly. Upgrading. But for this one, I was pleasantly surprised by it. I'm a try plus, and the only reason I'm not a buy on it is because I feel like our rye pick is going to be much better at the price point. And I think that like this is what this is competing with. As a special release, does it knock it out of the park? It's really good. But it doesn't go, oh my God, clear the shelf good for me.
Yeah.
It's good. Won't take anything away from it. I definitely wouldn't pass, but I don't think it's the standout like I want it to be. That's my piece.
I am going to be a...
Whoa. Got extra tasting going on over here.
Kidding. I am going to be a try as well.
Okay.
Not a pass. A try.
That's definitely not a pass.
For equivalent of $100 bottle.
Right.
You would want more out of it, but it's not bad.
Okay.
For double barrel.
If it was in the bottle that we talked about, like the more ornate bottle, would you be more would you be more inclined?
I can be persuaded.
If the packaging was a slight bit better, we might be doing it.
What we really have here
Yeah.
is a extra large fireball bottle. And so, the presentation is we'll say mediocre at best.
Okay.
So
knock it down.
I can be persuaded by a nice bottle.
Okay. I got you. No, I feel that marketing and packaging is very important.
I don't think you noticed the signature on the back, though.
Oh,
You see that?
Oh, yeah. It's it's more
Oh my God, Kenny, come on, dude. That's it. Kenny's back on band. We're suspending him again.
that was cursive, wasn't it?
That was ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to make Anthony laugh.
Oh Lord, come on.
That's funny. All right. Yeah, so what I did was I poured something that I acquired recently.
Okay.
I don't think you guys have had it yet.
Okay.
I poured a New Riff 8-year rye.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
They're making that?
And it is 75 plus tax.
Okay.
Good price point.
And so you were at $80 with tax. This was 98. So I poured that just to kind of give that a gauge.
Okay. I think we have a future episode in the plans too.
I think we need to do this I think we got to do this coming up.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I just wanted to solidify and see where I was pricing point wise. So I'm a buy on this Jack Daniel's twice barreled.
Nice. Very good.
Wow. So a try buy.
Try buy. That's pretty strong for a bottle that looks like someone just rolled it.
Yeah, I agree.
It does look like something you buy from CVS, like that's an off-brand whiskey, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's Kmart quality.
That's the only criticism I have right now. The whole experience, all the fills, and I'm like, come on, guys. Somebody had to look at that and go. Even with that wood neck tag on there, it's still going to look like.
If we equate this to what Woodford does, at least Woodford is like a scaled down version of their standard bottle.
Right.
This has no resemblance of a scaled down version of their bottle.
Right. It doesn't. It just looks like a medicinal whiskey flask.
Yeah, what this looks like is a lab sample of stem cells.
Nothing wrong with lab samples.
But you can't have it both ways.
What's that mean?
Both of you all have talked about when you have special releases, looks like the same bottle.
That's true.
At least this is distinctive.
You have said that. It's true. It stands
Can't have
out.
it both ways.
It stands out.
No, every time I go to Go to UK football. I see Fireball all over everywhere.
There you
But
go.
these 375 milliliter of the regular Jack bottles are sexy. So that's what I was hoping it was into. When it wasn't.
I would agree. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to break up the love fest here, but does anything look better than this Old Crow Chessman piece?
That's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. Kenny, are you worried I'm going to drop
Is that
it?
a bishop or a pawn? I think it's a bishop.
I don't
Dude.
know. All I know is I would
Do they
kiss
sell?
it if I could.
Do they sell chess sets at the gift shop based off that design?
No, I don't
No,
think
but
so.
they. I mean, people have.
Holy crap,
People
that'd be
have
awesome.
the
The
actual.
whole
People
thing.
have the big chest, the big mat.
People-
It's full of asbestos, but people have those.
People pay for that bottle empty.
Yeah.
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 But how good would a chess set from the distillery look that have little 50 milliliter bottles of a whole board?
I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I think it would be amazing, but you know what I think would be better is if you had this Distillery Series bottle and you just made a chess set out of this.
And with that, thanks for listening to this episode. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also,
Head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code MASHUP for a 15% discount.
let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.